space as he'll spin with the left hand. That's a nice move from the 6'9" junior. The lane, Curry with a block, and he comes down with it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Montgomery High School. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Mandy Shevlin, and Brandon Fury all here with you live on the MIRE for boys basketball, where tonight the 2-0 Montgomery Cougars host Immaculata. Boys, how we doing?
Really well, man. I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry that we ended up missing a game or so, but hey, we're here now and we get to watch some basketball.
No doubt about it. Pogue, how are you?
Doing all right.
It's unprecedented. I think we can actually hear you speak.
Yeah, see, I played around with the mic, and I figured I should stop annoying you.
I appreciate that.
It's been like a 2-year commitment. I think I got to give it up.
Not going to lie. It's pretty nice. So in any event, we have a lot of new toys here with us today, which is kind of nice. Hopefully we have solved all of the annoyances that I had to bring to you last game in order to make both Brandon and Mandy audible for everybody in our last home game. And our brand new soundboard hopefully took care of that. So that's
gorgeous.
It's fun. It's a little larger than what I'm used to, but it required Pogue and I to spend. So we spent the money on this, and then we had to go out and buy new bags for everything so that everything wouldn't fit in the.
I mean, that's
well, it wouldn't fit in the old stuff. That's the other problem. So that was what that was. But let's talk a little bit about these 2-0 Cougars. Timmy, I had a chance to talk to Brandon about it on the Muck and Mire podcast. So curious to get your thoughts on just what you've seen so far from Montgomery, what you've liked, what you haven't.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to not like. I liked a lot of everything that I've seen. I was talking to Coach Grundy in the coach's office the other day, and I was like, man, it's really a shame that this year could have been something if we had a lot of these championships and things like that. They could have been in the running. It could have been, a lot like the year when we went to Trenton, and maybe with a different outcome.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Something that we had talked about, Chris and I had talked about it, in the preseason, and now I can't even remember if it was live or this was just off camera. But what you just said made me think of it. In a season like this, where you're scheduled for 15, you're probably going to get 13. Maybe, and we can talk in just a bit about all the craziness that's already happened and what we have actually going on the upcoming schedule. But just a thing like Rubio being able to maybe get 1,000 points is probably going to be out the window because of the abbreviated schedule. I mean, and what a shame, because you're talking about one of the more dominant players in, clearly in program history.
Yep.
Both from a skill standpoint and just a physical gifts standpoint.
I mean, yeah. So one, that's super unfortunate. I didn't even think about that. And for a kid like Rubio, I mean, he's going to be remembered for years, but eventually it comes down to, did you get your name on that placard and to be remembered forever? And a kid as deserving as him deserves that, but And then again, like, this team has so many pieces that are just fitting together perfectly, and for them not to be able to maximize it with having a normal season is unfortunate. But on the other hand, you look at it, it could be like last spring where kids didn't get to compete at all.
Exactly.
So at least they're getting the opportunity to play out their senior seasons and enjoy being a senior and this last little wisp of high school basketball.
So let's talk a little bit about that, the crazy schedule, and I'll synthesize it as best I can, which is a tall task. So we had cancellation Tuesday at Ridge because of the weather. That got moved to Wednesday. The cancellation Wednesday at Ridge because of the weather. Okay, so now we're canceled for Ridge, not going to postpone. I'm giving you just the chronological order. This is not actually what it all is.
Yeah.
This is just the evolution of it. So now we're canceled. We're not going to make it up. Okay. Now we got tonight, home Immaculata, and tomorrow at Trenton Catholic. Then Trenton Catholic catches COVID, so they're out. Then, all right, well, we're going to pick up Linden. Okay? Before we could pick up Linden, then find out Ridge has got to come back on the schedule because it was not a COVID-related cancellation. It was just a weather-related cancellation. And because they're a conference opponent, we got to bring them back onto the schedule. Luckily, the coaches met with the NJSIAA and added another week where you can have an extra game on the schedule. You can play now 2 4-game weeks, but you can't play 3 in a row. So now next Tuesday we'll be home Bridgewater, Wednesday at Ridge, Friday at Linden.
Oh,
for
boy.
now, until something else happens.
That's a busy week.
It is a busy week. You got all that?
You better call me when to show up.
Yeah, I need text messages. I need those reminders.
Well, the good news is we're going to bring all of that to you live on the MIRE, and we are going to physically travel to Ridge next Wednesday. So we will be able to do that for you. And Friday, even though we are going to broadcast remotely from Linden, we're going to use the remote broadcast from Linden. They think nice of them, use the NFHS network, but they purchased the stream outright, and it is a non-subscription based service for Linden High, and therefore they told us we could use the live stream, and like we would any other normal shared
like
remote broadcast,
like
a football, like we had done for football. So we will be live for all of that stuff. Tuesday, here from the Den, will also be a day of all 3 levels, freshman, JV, and varsity. So it'll be another long day for us, but hopefully an enjoyable day for the folks at home.
I don't know if they got all that, though.
I barely have it.
But hey, good news. We have a website.
We do have a brand new website that you are hopefully watching on right now, MIREradio.com. I'm going to ask that you not go to the broadcast schedule, because even though I said I was going to do it in the JV game, I didn't do it. But when we go to commercial in just a minute, then I'm going to update the broadcast schedule. So if you give me like 120 seconds, the broadcast schedule will be updated on MIREradio.com. What are you looking at me because you're telling me you want me to do something? No?
No. I was staring at the computer.
Oh, all right.
No, you had nothing to do with it.
I thought you were leaving that open as a signal for me to show me that you wanted me to do something.
No, I was waiting for it, and it's not happening. I have a plan, so it doesn't even matter.
The best laid plans of mice and men. We're going to go take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk Immaculata. We're going to talk what we think is going to happen tonight. And then, this is the last broadcast before the Super Bowl. So we got to get that in. You know it.
Here it is.
Tip-off is coming up in about 12 minutes from now. Montgomery and Immaculata live from the Den. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. This is the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Fury, you're back in. Welcome back to Montgomery High School. Matt Pogue, Keith Glock, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, because you can't see whose mouth is moving. So there you have it.
That's a fun game we can start playing.
Yeah, seriously. Well, listen, I'm a microphone hog, so everybody knows it's me talking most of the time. So before we get into Immaculata, we got to do Super Bowl predictions first. I mean, let's roll through this, and then we'll actually get back to the matter at hand. Who wants to start? We didn't even talk about this at the break. Timmy, I gave you the longest time to think about this. What do you got?
So, who do I want to win? Or
No. Who is going to win the game?
I think the Chiefs are going to win.
Okay, why?
I think, Mahomes, probably one of the best up-and-coming quarterbacks is the best up-and-coming quarterback. Probably has a chance to have a better legacy than Brady, if anyone has a chance. And he's got Kelsey, who this season was phenomenal. I won my fantasy football team because of those two. So
picking with his pocketbook.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing right now.
I'm saying, and Tom Brady's good. I mean, he's the best. He's the GOAT. I mean, just making it to the Super Bowl at this point. It's hard to know who I want to win because I want the Chiefs to win because I like them. They're a young team. They have dynasty written all over them. But I also if Brady wins it, hands down, no one will ever question greatest of all time. You know what I mean? And you can not like the guy, but if he goes from New England then to Tampa Bay, New England doesn't make the playoffs and has probably the worst season they've had in years.
Not probably.
Yeah, definitely. And then take a team like Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl and win it. I mean, you could never argue that again.
No doubt. Fury, what do you got?
So I'm going to say that the Bucs are going to be leading at halftime by 10. And the Chiefs are going to go down and score a game-winning drive in the fourth quarter. 35-31 is going to be the final Chiefs. And just to go back to what you said, I don't rule out the Patriots yet. They had all the opt-outs, led the league in opt-outs. You lose your quarterback. And not to mention, the whole notion that Brady just took a terrible team to the Super Bowl.
I didn't say they were terrible.
Well, okay, but you implied it with the Bucs.
I didn't say they were terrible.
So that was a super team with a quarterback that throws 30 interceptions, and he did have 33 touchdowns, so I'll give him that.
He had way more than 33.
I know,
he had like 40.
No, I'm talking about Winston last year.
Jameis Winston, yeah.
I got you.
Who had 30 interceptions.
Yeah, no, he's terrible.
I'm not surprised Brady took them to the Super Bowl. That was a super team.
No, I'm not surprised, but at the same token, they don't have a history of winning, and right. So it's all well and good to take a team that is good and get them through the regular season, but then to win playoff football, especially against a team with a seasoned veteran like Aaron Rodgers, you know what I mean? Like that's on the back of Tom Brady.
Okay, I see that.
Oh, Mahomes. Yeah, no, they're going to win. They have him, so that's not really
So
fair.
we went from detailed explanation of the fourth quarter to Mahomes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to run a run play on second down in the second quarter with 8 minutes left, so, I mean, that's going to happen too.
Fury, who's going to catch the game-winning touchdown? Or is it going to be a run?
I'm going to say Kelsey's going to back middle of the end zone, 20 yards out.
Nice. That's a good one.
I've been thinking about this more, Fury, and I'm amending my Muck and MIRE prediction.
Really?
I know this is going to shock you all when I'm contrarian here, but the Chiefs are going to open up a 28-3 lead, and then no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. The Buccaneers are going to win this game. Before all of the hype of an analysis and over-analysis and the pros versus the Joes of the betting world have pushed the line in one direction and then back in the other direction, it settled back kind of right where it was in that 3.5 range. You have to think that there was at least some room built into that line because the Buccaneers are playing at home. This is a field goal game, no matter how you look at it, okay? This is more than just a Super Bowl for Tom Brady. If you could very easily conceive of him winning this game, doing it with what you guys talked about, a franchise that has lost epically for 4 decades now. And he's there for 1 year wins the Super Bowl, and goes, thanks, have a great life.
That's what I would
Because
do.
I certainly do. I just won another Super Bowl, and I'm out. And as much as I dislike Tom Brady because of the situation with the Falcons in the Super Bowl, and the fact that he's now the quarterback of the damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you can't not respect the guy. He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
amazing.
There's nothing that's going to rattle him. And don't forget that the Chiefs, in their run to the Super Bowl last year, trailed by double digits in every playoff game. So, and you know what? You can choose to look at that in one of two ways. You can say, well, they're so, like, Mahomes is unbelievable. They can come from behind. Yes, all of that stuff. But they also played poorly enough to trail by double digits in each of the playoff games that they played. Now, this year has been wholly different because it seems like they can just turn it on and off whenever they want to.
Yeah.
But there's just going to be something. There's something different about Tom Brady, clearly, than every other quarterback that's ever played professional football. And Mahomes might get there, but he's not there yet.
No,
And
he's not.
And he's not going to be there on Sunday. Buccaneers going to win the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it could go either way. It's such like the 3.5 is just an indication that like nobody really knows what's going to happen.
I'll give you a score. I'll give you 28-24 Tampa, and there's a guy that nobody's really talking about, and it's Devin White. Devin White for Tampa Bay is really, really freaking good. And he's going to make a play, an impactful play somewhere along the line. We talked for way too long. Let's get you back to Montgomery basketball as we have about 90 seconds before the National Cup.
You mentioned, and they have, not a lot of guys that had seen time last year. It's going to really come down, Isaiah Honus is coming back.
Yep.
He got a lot of playing time last year, and Darren Tuck, right? So those are
Yep.
their two main guys. If we can contain them, hopefully we can contain Immaculata.
Yeah, no doubt. Tuck is a slasher. He's going to try to get to the basket. Not really a fantastic outside shooter, but we'll see how that all plays out. We'll step away for the National Anthem. We'll come back. The coin toss winner, forget about the tip-off. We'll be right after this with boys basketball. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Mandy Shovlin, and Brandon Fury as we are about set for, what are we going to call this? Like the opening inbound? I mean, I can't even say a tip-off. It's just not really.
Start of the game?
Yeah, for the start. The start of the wonderful basketball contest, because there's no more tip-off.
The bounce off.
The starters for Immaculata, Josh Williams. Josh Williams is point guard, by the way. He will handle the ball and going to be pretty good for them in a couple of years. Davis Adams, Sean Givens, and the two folks that you mentioned, the holdovers from last year who has names that you will likely remember, Isaiah Honus and Darren Tuck. And for Montgomery, the usual starting lineup, as you can hear them being announced behind you. The sophomore, J.T. Szymborski, the southpaw. He will start things out on the wing for Montgomery. And then there are 4 captains. They all start. Noah Velocic kind of does a little bit of everything for Montgomery. Matt Prescott, he is the sharpshooter from the outside. The point guard is Ryan Curry. He's a junior. And the big man, 6'9", headed to Lafayette, Chris Rabayo. Not too bad. Producer, are we going over to Mandy? Is that what we're doing? Is that a thing that we're doing here in the pregame? Yes. Okay, good. Yes, it is. Thank you. Feel free to produce at any time you want. Mandy, what do you have?
All right, guys, welcome to this Montgomery Immaculata game. Both of these teams are highly competitive and athletic, so it should be a good one. For Immaculata, offensively, they must take advantage of their young and athletic players to optimize on their offensive opportunities. And defensively, they will have to do an early ball press and make it hard. For Montgomery, offensively, they will have to run their transitions to also optimize their offensive opportunities. And defensively, crash the board to win as many rebounds as possible. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy. Gotta wonder if the whole not going to wear a shirt and tie thing is going to stick around post-COVID.
Oh, I doubt it.
But I don't understand. Like, what was different now? Just because nobody's here?
Yeah.
We're going to have a Grundy camp. We're going to make him start wearing a shirt and tie.
We should. He'd love it.
You're already seeing Josh Williams going to try to maybe harass Ryan Curry. And we'll see how this matchup goes.
I mean, that's typical of Immaculata. They like to run the press. They're gonna try to make Montgomery make some mistakes and put a lot of pressure.
We are underway for boys basketball as J.T. Szymborski will try his luck for a 3, and no good. That rolls out. An unlucky bounce. Otherwise, that would have been an offensive board for Rabayo. That's an area, Tim, where, you know, in talking to the coaches, that potentially Montgomery is going to have a huge distinctive advantage.
Yeah, they don't like, Immaculata doesn't really like to box out as much. So for us, I mean, I think one of the things we struggled in the Peaburg game was getting those boards. So this could be a big opportunity to kind of maximize our height advantage and really get them.
Going to have a foul there, as you saw, a reach in and a little bit of grab of the jersey. And they're going to get Szymborski on the foul. It'll be his first. Just 30 seconds into this ball game, so free throws already for Immaculata. First one from Sean Givens is good, so that will give Immaculata the lead here in the early going. There's a lot of talk about what we do during free throws now because there's no volume in the gym. I was trying to kind of let everybody know, like, if we're talking while the free throws begin, I don't have an issue talking through them. But if we're silent or we stop, we should probably stop, as Szymborski will fire away again, no good. And again, the rebound to Lotta.
Young man's coming out firing, and you know what? It's gonna fall, and when it does, just like we said last time, they're gonna keep falling.
No doubt about it. Here is Tuck. You can hear Immaculata in the background kind of employing for some movement.
Nice block there by Rabayo.
I don't even know why I used that word because that didn't fit there at all, as a floater from Tuck is no good, and Curry will be the one to come down with it.
I think they had 3 shots there in the lane, and Rabayo affected all 3 of them, coming away with 1 block there.
You heard Grundy as Velocic is going to fire away that time, and no good, but Rabayo there again. Velocic again from 3. Second time is the charm.
He just had to take a step back, man. The first one was too close.
You heard Grundy yell at Szymborski, do not stop shooting, and I think that the first 2 misses definitely impacted his decision there.
Yeah, that happens to young players, man. You take the first 2 and then you miss them, and then you're like, maybe I'm being too greedy, maybe I need to pass it off.
But you know what? I think that was exactly what Szymborski needed to hear there, though, too, as Prescott nearly comes up with it. Now it will be Curry on the steal. Ryan.
Oh, good move.
Looking, now dishes back outside. Couple extras. It'll come back to him in the corner looking for a triple. No good. Robayo tips it up and out of bounds.
You know, while we haven't had a lot of success in these shots, I do like what they're doing here, moving the ball around and just finding that open three and throwing it up.
Early lead for Montgomery, 3-2. And that'll be out of bounds and a turnover for the Cougs. And we're going to get a foul, it looks like.
On number 1, on Williams.
Speedy little point guard.
They're doing a really good job pressuring.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this up, though,
so
because
that's been one of the knocks on them in years past is they come out hard and they press, but they can't keep that for the entire game.
Szymborski, another three. That time he's got it. Third time the charm for him.
Rise and fire.
6-2 in the early going for the Cougs.
Grundy really liking that decision to tell him to keep his shooting.
Sorry, Fury, I had you muted there, buddy, while we were making that adjustment. As a three on the way is up and good, that time from Isaiah Honus. And you can really see the plan is to try to keep the ball out of Curry's hands.
There are so many weapons.
Officials in the state of New Jersey on this game, Jack Baum and Wayne Irons. So there'll be no second guessing at all of this officiating crew.
Darren Tuck knocks the first one down pretty easily.
Even on the free throw, number 1, Josh Williams, not giving Curry any breathing room.
No. Curry's still able to get it in his hands and will go quickly the other way. A good job to get himself cut off, but it'll be a three from Vlasic on the trailer. That was something we saw a lot a year ago, Tim, is the trailer ended up with a lot of wide open threes.
Yeah.
Good job by Robayo there.
He's really just got to set himself a little bit better on that one. He kind of rushed the shot and wasn't able to come through, but if he gets his feet set, he's going to make that more often than he doesn't.
Curry, and wow, that's a great job by Curry, because we talk about that all the time, like, when a guy's racing up court in the middle of the floor, and if he just puts the brakes on, he tends to get run over. That's just, it was that little stutter step from Curry that forced the contact on his back, and that sends Williams to the bench with 2 fouls, and let's see what they can do now as Courtney Benjamin comes in.
I mean, and that's going to happen. Anytime you have a kid like that pressuring an athlete like Curry, they're going to foul. It's going to happen. So you have to be willing to, ooh, good pass.
It was just maybe, Curry wanted a bounce pass there as a travel.
Yep.
But that one might have been, maybe as a little bit of a layoff there. So Josh Moore will head the other direction. 3 from Prescott, and that's good from the corner for Matty Prescott. Timeout Immaculata as Montgomery has knocked down a trio of 3-pointers here in the early going to take a lead. 30-second timeout. We may as well keep you here as the Cougs hang on here in the early going. They can get Prescott going, guys. I think that could spell disaster for Immaculata just by maybe the war of attrition. There's only so many resources they could spend defensively here, it seems.
Especially with this young team, to deal with Robayo and then Curry at the same time, and then have to worry about someone like Szymborski or Prescott, being able to come out off and make those threes. I mean, even Noah, man, with that trailer, he's going to hit those.
Yep.
So you got to worry about that.
Gordy got a earful from Coach Grundy saying, like, listen, I need you to finish that. You can't have that shot blocked.
And early in the season, that's been his his flaw, just not able to finish. Once he's able to correct that, it's going to be good for the Cougs.
Immaculata trying to settle into some offense, and this is what that matchup zone, kind of does for teams. It frustrates the heck out of you because, you think you're in man, and
then you're not.
No, it's really not. Here's a 3, and that is no good. And Gordy looks to track it down, but cannot. That's a rebound that the team is going to need Gordy to.
Yeah, that's something that, like I said, last time we had a little bit of a struggle with.
There's Honus on a 3, and it ends up in the hands of Rubio.
Yeah, it was good that Gordy got his hands on it to get it over there.
Moore will pull up from 3, and that's no good. That time, Gordy's got the rebound, no good, and he's going to go to the free throw line as he is fouled by Isaiah Honus.
I mean, if he starts finishing those, he's going to be so good.
That's another one of those situations where you're just like, dude, just don't ever bring the basketball down from over your head.
Yep.
Catch it and dunk it.
Yeah. Because one of two things is going to happen. Like, he's going to either make it or it's going to get fouled.
But you know what? I mean, I think it's also like one of those things that you know, why do we do strength training? Why do we do a lot of these different things so that you don't need to load up and bend at the knees every time you need to, you know, get up and get some height?
Yeah. I mean, I teach that to my high jumpers all the time. Everyone thinks you got to plant and jump, you know, plant your foot to jump high. But, you know, it's really you have to be quick off that last step. You know, and the same thing with layups.
Nearly a 10-second violation. And instead, Immaculata able to initiate some offense. There's a baseline drive. A good job by Rubio. Boy, has he been fantastic defensively the last 2 years as he contests another shot. And now it's going to be Moore, 2-on-1 the other direction. Euro from Josh Moore finishes the layup.
I know he doesn't have a highlight reel yet, but that will be on it.
Another great job by Rubio, but a better job by Darren Tuck to finish. Oh, Curry. Stopping, starting, the left hand. His scoop shot layup is good, back to back.
We're just going to need to watch this last minute.
And Curry goes tumbling to the court, and the whole Cougar bench there to pick him up.
Giving him love.
Gotta love that.
That whole 1.5 minute series right there, that was money, man. That's a highlight reel right there.
Brando needs some help over there, buddy. Go produce. Produce something. There you go. Here is Immaculata and Tuck as a little short jumper is no good, and Vlasic will track it down. This is where Montgomery gets dangerous when Curry can start leaking out ahead of the rest of the defense.
Yeah. The Curry is just when he gets in a roll like that, it's bad news for the opposing team.
See, this is what I have to do. I feel like I got to do everything with you clowns.
Josh Moore for 3. Oh.
No good from Josh.
Almost, though.
Save it.
What we got going on here?
that was a Mandy thing. Rubio skies for a block, and he comes down with it. Here come the Cougs. Ball fake, Rubio, and an offensive foul.
You know, I think he was a little indecisive there. He had Josh Moore on the wing, and he was maybe thinking of getting that pass, and then decided to finish last minute. And a good job by Immaculata to step up and take the charge.
First foul of the ball game on Rubio, just the third team foul. Luckily, we can now see the team fouls. Correct, Pogue? Am I right on that?
Well, now that you said it, geez. Right now you can.
Rubio with another steal. He goes for Curry. The trailer is Vlasic. Yes.
See?
Second of the game for Noah Vlasic. The lead is now opened up to 8. 2 seconds now. Can they even get a shot off with 1? They can't. And this Cougar team feeds off that defense. We know that they do. And that'll take us to a very strong ending to quarter number 1. As you saw Noah Vlasic there knock it down. We'll be right back. Second quarter coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to Montgomery as we get set to start quarter number 2. Let's head over, easy for me to say, to Mandy Shovelin. What do you have, Mandy? No, hold on a second. You gotta turn the microphone on. Is your mic? There you go. What do we got now? We got you now? Nope. Is the pack off? Pogue, produce. See, this is we need. All right, this best laid plans, mice and men. It is what it is.
Okay.
Thought we had Mandy, but we don't.
We'll just go to the game.
There we go. All right, so we'll go to Mandy in just a second. Thank you, Pogue. Immaculata begins with the basketball to start quarter number 2. We'll get a foul, and maybe we can head on over to Mandy at this point. Mandy, what do you have?
All right, guys, coming into this second quarter, it was a high-pressure first quarter on defense early on. Montgomery was not making it easy for the Immaculata offense. Montgomery is now banking on their opportunities from beyond the arc. And for both of these teams, patience and pressure is a message from both of their coaches. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy. There we go.
Nicely done.
Curry will split a couple of defenders, and he'll go for Vlasic. Noah Vlasic clearly playing his most impactful offensive game of the season so far, and we're not even a minute into quarter number 2.
That's just good-looking basketball right there.
Curry gets a hand on that one, and after a somewhat stilted beginning, the Cougars have found their legs.
Just got to keep it going.
The nightcap of a trio of basketball games here on the MIRE. You can find both the freshman and junior varsity games in your YouTube Montgomery 21 basketball playlist.
It's a good cut.
Rabayo there to alter the shot, and Prescott. They leave him alone for a second, and instead Montgomery will come back around the outside. Curry needs no further look than Rabayo on the post, and his shot won't go off the window. Honus, the next in a line of very impactful basketball players for this Immaculata Spartan program.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make an impact.
Line drive three-pointer no good as Josh Moore will push up ahead. Rabayo, he has not really been as active from the outside beyond the arc this season so far as he was last year. Spinning into the lane, and a little vertical jump there from Darren Tuck sends Rabayo the other direction, and an offensive foul.
Oh, way to step into that. That's amazing. That's a great job.
Let's take another look here as Prescott does a great job to get to the spot, and he just gets run over, and Montgomery bench pretty happy about it.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt him as much this year. He's so big.
That's right. Thank you to Sarah Samad and all the work that she put in with these young men over the summer. So now here's Josh Moore. As there's about 2 minutes gone by. Wow, backdoor cut. Curry's wide open. Vlasic was 3/4 of the way back to the bucket before Curry even laid it in.
Something really impacting the game here.
As Curry steals it, and he'll try to lay it in with a couple of acrobatic layups for Curry here in the first half. What were you saying, Brad?
Something really impacting the game here as Josh Moore coming in, as they were kind of taking Curry away and almost manning him up. And now Josh Moore, the other handler, able to really open up the offense. And I think that's what's causing the lead to kind of balloon here.
Yeah.
Gordy will come down with the rebound. Curry will try a three, no good, and Gordy's going to get called for a foul.
You know, and I agree with you, Brandon. Moore is with every game, he's coming on a little bit better. He's showing more poise, more maturity, and making some really good decisions. I'm impressed with his level of play, and he can definitely be an impact player for us this year.
Got another look there at that. Honus, he'll try a three. And a little bit of an acting job in the lane from Darren Tuck, and nobody was buying, and it ended in a nice little baseline jumper for Rabayo. Oh, Curry nearly had his hands on that one.
It's all over the court tonight.
dangerous pass in the middle, and they're going to get Robayo on a foul there. It'll send Tuck to the line.
That's his second.
You saw number 10 for Immaculata, Devin Pombo. He was the senior we were talking about in the pregame, and he's probably the team's best three-point shooter. So they're going to need to close out on him. If they can let him get his feet set, that's, not a situation that Montgomery wants. Well, you don't really get too much more of a stark contrast in substitution and relative to height when it comes to that one, right? Between Moore and Robayo.
Nope, not at all.
You'd love to say that this is the small lineup on the court for Montgomery, but you still got 6'9" Aryan Gordy in there, so it ain't that small. To use the King's English, Gordy underneath has his shot altered again, and again has a shot altered.
He's going to get better at that. I know it. He's just going to get bigger, stronger, and being able to finish.
Has to. And I was going to say nearly a travel, but and you know what? You got. Yep.
A lot of mistakes happen.
A contested three from Prescott was no good as Tuck gets into the lane. Acrobatic layup, no good with some English, and Gordy will put it in the capable hands of Curry. Euro from Prescott and easily gets to the goal for a lay-in.
Man, he's just solid and smooth this year, man.
I happened to look over here to my left, and Noah Vlasic started flexing over on the left side. And Curry will step in front of another pass as Honus tries to track him down. He can't, and Curry lays it in.
Just running away. Keep it up, boys.
Just like that. And you heard Curry talk about it on the Muck and Mire pod this week about he can sense at times when, and here's another turnover, when the iron is hot, as they say, and if he can turn up the pressure himself a little bit here, that he has the potential just single-handedly to change a game. Or maybe not even change the game, but as he put it, I can smell blood, or just step on their throats. That the killer instinct, as Moore tries to weave his way behind Tuck and can't.
I mean, collectively as a team, they've been doing a great job of that. Like when they start getting some momentum, really taking advantage of it and putting their foot down on the accelerator. And this game has been a great indication of that.
Vlasic is back in the game, and they tried to run Prescott off a couple of picks, but Immaculata does a nice job to stay with him. So instead it'll be Curry. Curry is one of those guys that I really wish and I hope, as Gordy misses a turnaround, that they, meaning college coaches, are really taking a look at him game in and game out, and not just maybe at a highlight, reel here or there, because I feel like every game he just continues to show you why he's so stinking good, and that, in my opinion, you're not just watching the guy that he is right now. You got to think about the guy he's going to be literally 2 years from today, because that's the guy that's going to walk in your gym as a freshman and play basketball.
Yeah. He's one of those players that is impactful no matter if he's not shooting well, then he's hustling on defense, making plays there. If he's letting his defense down a little bit, he's stepping up on offense. Like, he's always bringing something to the table when he's on the court.
I think as Gordy comes down with the rebound off the missed free throw, lead remains 14. And, I think that there are guys, as Gordy gets hacked underneath, he'll go to the line. Curry, has the ball skills with the ball in his hand of a Division I player. And minus that, he could probably play, the 2 guard because of his shooting skills. Then you put both of those two things together, and you're like, okay, that's a versatile guard that could probably play the point, which I would hope he plays the point in college, or the 2, in a pinch if you needed him to. But then I think there's the third piece, and that's the killer, the assassin in him, as Coach Grundy said, the killer instinct. That's just not a thing that you can teach. As Josh Moore and Vlasic combine for a steal, but it'll be out of bounds. And I think when you put all of those 3 things together, that's a guy that can play at a really high level in college. I just believe that.
Oh, he's definitely capable. Hopefully he gets the right coach to look at him.
Curry was blocked on his three-pointer, but no shock that Noah Vlasic was there to come down with it. And that'll be the 7th team foul, so I think we're shooting free throws.
No, that's the 6th. Is it the
I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong side of the scoreboard. That was the 6th.
Yeah.
Curry with a great dish inside, and Gordy just has it knocked out of his hands. Darren Tuck has to throw up a floater. That's no good, and Gordy will catch a chunk. Looked like Dylan Hayes, who's going to go to the line. This is the first of those situations in the season where now, not that either of those guys are in foul trouble per se, because they both have 2, as the first free throw is no good. But through 2 games, you haven't had either Gordy or Rubio in a situation where you'd even had to contemplate what do you do, because of foul trouble. And we're going to get a jump ball, possession arrow to the Cougs.
Yeah, I mean, they're being safe with Rubio here, keeping him on the bench for a little bit while they have this nice lead. But
Josh Moore will go 1-on-2, no good. Gordy there to come and follow it up.
There you go. That's what he's got to do. That's what's got to happen every single time.
Cougar trap again as they go into the middle. Good job by Honus. Couple extra passes. That's good ball movement from Immaculata. And Gordy's just got to grab that one. Honus will try a long 3 now. That's no good. And Prescott tried to box out, but it just went over his head. 3rd attempt at it, no good. A 4th attempt at offense. And it finally ends up in a layup for Isaiah Honus. And that's the kind of thing that will drive Grundy bananas.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You have lots of opportunities for those rebounds and just not to come down with one of them. It's hard to give a good team 5 chances at a score.
I'm going to get a foul on Devin Pombo. Second foul on Pombo, and it will now be 1-and-1 for Vlasic.
Got a full house here at the Cougar Den.
We do.
Feel like we got more heads in the stand.
First one is good, so now Montgomery doubling up Immaculata, 34-17. Vlasic is 2 for 2, so
doing pretty decent from the line so far, knock
Yep.
on wood.
Under 30 seconds to go in the first half, and Montgomery now comfortably ahead. Here's Pombo, a 3, and he knocks it down, as we noted he might. Let's see if Montgomery can get a bucket here before the half. It's Curry crossing over, fade away. Yeah, ooh, and
It
that
looked good, didn't it?
yeah, the angle that we had there looked pretty good. Before we go to the half, let's head on down to Mandy. What do you have, Mandy?
All right, guys, going into this halftime, we have seen a fast-paced and competitive game from both teams. Montgomery had the focus on a fast-paced ball movement and taking as many offensive opportunities as possible, where on the other hand, Immaculata was more focused on patience and stopping the Montgomery offense to try and close some of that score deficit. Back to you guys.
We have reached the half. Montgomery 35 and Immaculata 20. We'll be back. We'll give you statistics and analysis. Coming back right after this, you're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the MIRE. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, and of course our favorite sideline reporter, Mandy Shovlin.
All right, hey guys, so going into this second half, we have some stats for you. Curry has 8 points, Arian Gordy has 7 points, and Velocic has 10 points. And we can expect this second half to be similar to the first in its competitiveness and fast pace. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mandy. Montgomery with a rather workmanlike 35 points again, in the first half. Brand, it just seems like, I'm not trying to really make it seem like things are effortless, but it just seems like it's kind of been an easygoing first couple of games where they haven't really seemed to struggle, and you play this out over 4 quarters instead of 2, and it'll be another game where they drop 70 or almost drop 70.
Yeah, and it's a testament to how hard they work, and I can't even tell if are we playing bad teams or are we just a really, really good team making a pretty solid team just look worse.
And maybe that's what next week will answer for us. I mean, especially as you work into hopefully your first 3-game week of the season. It'll be the first of 3 weeks in a row where there are 3 games. And I did update the broadcast schedule on MIREradio.com. So if you head over to the broadcast link, that'll be what it's going to be. Tim, first half for the Cougs, largely without Chris Rubio, didn't really seem to matter.
Nah, they're firing on all cylinders, man. They got, obviously Curry is playing a terrific game. That accompanied with Prescott and Noah, and they're offensively they're handling it pretty well. Defensively, they're stopping Honus and
Tuck. Yeah.
Tuck, yeah, thank you. That's the name I was looking for. So more continued success in the second half, hopefully.
Immaculata will start with the basketball to begin quarter number 3. I thought it was pretty impactful that Josh Williams, who had the basketball there, picked up that second foul so early. Curry nearly comes down with a block, but instead they're going to get him on a foul.
So, Pogue, I got some feedback that there's maybe some lag out there. I don't know if that's anything that we can do on our end, but
no.
I didn't think so.
No, I can't fix the internet now.
No, well, they're saying it's lagging and speeding up. I don't know.
I got nothing for you on that one.
No, me neither. I tried, guys. Sorry.
Everything looks correct on our end.
Yep. When in doubt, blame it on Pogue, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Even I can't blame him for the internet, though.
I can. I just did. It's your fault, Pogue.
Prescott and Curry. And here's another 3 from Szymborski, and that's no good. Rubio, though, there to sky and clean it up. Curry gets bumped, and it'll be a foul. That'll be Isaiah Honus, and his second. They go right to the post. Rubio spinning inside and lays it in easily.
Thought he was going to throw it down for a sec.
I think he thought about it. There's a little more contact there than maybe he was expecting.
It's in. That's all that matters. Oh, no, a good layout for that.
Not really a shock seeing Velocic giving up the body, and instead of 3 is up and good from Sean Givens. You could hear Immaculata screaming out shooter when Szymborski gets the ball, but you could probably yell that about most of Montgomery's players. Another great inside move from the Lafayette-bound Rubio. Back-to-back buckets for the big man, and maybe that really was what they were missing in the first half.
He's going to get his, man.
This half-court trap, can they get a 10 here? This is going to be really, really close. They got to get it over, and they get a 10. Fantastic defensive stop there for the Cougs.
It almost seemed like Immaculata just froze. They didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, they really need to attack the middle of the floor, there. And for some reason, that like you said, it paralyzes teams, from time to time.
Yep.
They go back toward Curry. Extra pass. Prescott. No good.
I wanted it.
Vlasic might have got pushed in the back a little bit, but no call. Good job by Prescott to run out on Honus, and it'll be Vlasic throwing up ahead for Rabayo, running under it. Body control, no, but Prescott there for the rebound. And he is going to be blocked that time, and Immaculata will come the other direction. Here's a floater in the lane, and that is good.
Some fast-paced basketball today.
Davis Adams with a nice play on both ends of the court.
Montgomery looking to slow it down here.
Rabayo with a little bit of a hip check as Prescott was on his way to the bucket with the ball.
Man, these guys are doing some amazing things tonight.
You got to give Josh Williams credit because and a good job there of breaking the press, but he's just chasing Curry around for all he's worth, and he got the raw end of a screen from Rabayo.
I'm just exhausted watching it all.
Here's a contested jumper from Adams, again no good, but he tracks it down, and a layup inside from Givens. Timeout Immaculata, as we're 3 minutes gone by here in the third. Quick timeout. Actually, it's a full timeout for Immaculata, so we'll take it with them. Cougs still lead it by 13. You are caught in the mire. This is the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to the Cougar Den. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, and Mandy Shovelin, the whole Mire crew, live with you in the third game of the season for Montgomery. Brando, you got anybody lined up for Muck and Mire this week?
Yeah, I think we're going to go with the big man, Chris Rabayo, this week.
So you're coming out of the gate slow. Curry and Rabayo, back-to-back weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured it would be those two, if any, but.
Yeah, that's good choices.
You, like Vlasic, coming out hot. 13 points in the game for Noah. That's clearly a season high. And the Cougar lead widens. There's Rabayo there to alter another shot, and then strongly comes down with the rebound and is fouled.
That is just aggressive on Rabayo's part, and you love to see it. You just love to see that kind of aggression out of him.
You talk about, the maturity and the growth of the big guy. That play right there kind of epitomizes what we've been talking about since he was a sophomore, right?
Absolutely.
His first 3 attempt of the season is good.
Oh, man, nothing but net.
Boy, if you're Lafayette, you're salivating over that, aren't you? And here's another steal as Curry will come the other direction. And he gets hit from behind. Little Tiger Woods action there as it rolls out of the cup. Rabayo, he'll work outside to Szymborski, the southpaw for 3. He's got it.
Come on. Who are these kids?
Back-to-back triples. Montgomery lead is back to 22. Boy, you could see just how dangerous. Szymborski almost comes up with it. Kickball from Rabayo. But, in the blink of an eye, you can go from, well, hey, we just cut this thing down to 12 and we're feeling good. And now all of a sudden,
Yeah, it goes from manageable to, come on.
Seriously.
But that's what we've been doing. I mean, once they see that opportunity, they put their foot down, and they really been, making the best of everything.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when they play their first really, really athletic team.
Yeah.
A wide open three from the corner, no good, and a long rebound, as sometimes happens.
Because you can tell this Immaculata team's got talent and they're athletic, but they're inexperienced. You know, they're just not necessarily as clean and crisp as they could be.
Josh Moore will come back in for Szymborski.
Gonna have to make a football reference there. It's the same way they were in football, just young, athletic, fast team, just not ready yet.
That's how always are in football.
Speaking of young and fast and athletic, there's Curry streaking to the hole for another easy bucket. Man, you know, something to talk about, you know, put this in your back pocket as an offensive rebound is rejected by Rabayo, and he's going to get called for a foul.
Just get out of town.
Brando, as we get another look here at having to bring its own energy, you know, and in this run particularly, it's, you know, the Cougar bench, at least to us, even with headphones on, feels like it was a big part of that last couple of minutes.
No doubt. The bench, it's going to be one of their only sources of energy. It's that in themselves because, as we've pointed out many times, those fatheads don't make any noise, unfortunately.
A run out for Josh Moore this time, and Moore will lay it in. And another timeout for Immaculata. Coach Grundy very, very happy. 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with you and reset it. Montgomery 54 and Immaculata 29. And another stilted beginning for the Cougars, but they lessened that today, guys. And it's really been fast and furious otherwise, and so far comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, back to what you were saying about the energy on the bench. I mean, it's almost as good as having the student section. They're just fired up. And then if you look on the opposite side, you know, the Immaculata bench is kind of quiet, and I know.
What just happened there, Pogue? You okay?
I don't know. I think the internet actually, something's going on.
Pogue broke the internet. Great.
Oh, great job, Pogue.
Wreck-It Ralph over here.
Dribbled it right off his foot as Prescott will come quickly the other way, and he is run over from behind. So. And you know what? While this all happens too, we'll head to a break. Where you're caught in the mire. This is the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Montgomery. Apologize for any technical issues that we're having here. Prescott was replaced on the floor by Szymborski, so
Szymborski was 1 of 2 from the line.
Yeah, and he will run out now, and he is hit, no call, but lays it in anyway.
That was great. Be able
by Velocic, just ripping the ball out of their hands.
Josh Moore picks up a foul, so it'll be Immaculata's ball. Tuck passing it out.
So we'll see as Rabayo does a good job defensively there.
Good steal by Josh Moore.
They leave for a trailing Curry.
Good drive by Moore.
Moore again with the right hand.
Yeah, just was able to set his feet and make a good shot. Surprised they didn't call anything on that one.
Ball knocked away again, and Curry has another steal. Grundy tried to call a timeout.
Looked like Rabayo hit Curry there as Curry was trying to get out.
That's exactly what happened. Curry tried to pick it up, and Rabayo couldn't stop his forward momentum, ran into him, and then just kind of we got the turnover.
Didn't really matter because ultimately it ends up staying with Montgomery.
Yep.
Curry, as he dribbles with under a minute to go.
Well, Prescott's okay.
He'll pull up for three. That's no good. You know, really did not look good for Prescott a few moments ago. Now, seemingly just a bad memory.
Yeah, I mean, anytime a kid comes down and grabs his knee right away, you know, you worry, especially when you're taking a fast-paced layup like that.
Not loving that.
Good pressure by Montgomery.
Immaculata, good ball movement to the inside, but Prescott there to cut Honus off. Here's another three from Pumbo. That's no good. And it'll be out of bounds off of Immaculata. Little offense-defense substitution for the Cougs.
Whew. Curry got a whole 30-second break, man. That was good. He's going to be refreshed.
And here he is right off the inbound. Great dish. Szymborski and an easy deuce.
Szymborski's having a nice little game today.
No doubt about it. A huge third quarter for Montgomery. Nearly a backcourt, but no call. And that'll be another quarter ender where they do not get a shot off. Let's head on over to Mandy. Mandy, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Despite there being no fans in the gym, there has been no shortage of energy from either sideline. Montgomery's sideline has been up and on their feet most of the time, cheering for every little victory, big and small, for their teammates. And creating an energy like this in a time like this can make any team prosper. Back to you guys.
3 quarters in the books in Montgomery. We'll be right back. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. So, I don't know. I've been keeping an eye on this, and everything looks fine. Welcome back to the Den. As a great backdoor cut, and boy, how many years has Montgomery run that play to create easy buckets off the inbound?
That was just effortless.
Cougars working on their best offensive performance of the season as Curry will come the other way, and Gordy really wanted Curry to throw it down. I thought for a second he was going to try.
It was close, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
Going with the hockey line is 68-32. Here's a three from Immaculata. That's no good. And it'll roll to Gordy. He tries to underhand it to Curry, and it is stolen. And we're going to get a foul on Velasic.
Good to see some of the younger players getting some PT now.
So, Szymborski here, Curry in the background. I love Curry.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Oh, good look.
Levy, what a pass ahead for Szymborski!
Nice. Levy comes in, immediate impact. I love it.
Oh, boy, that's a highlight reel play from Matt Levy. How about that? Listen, if that one doesn't make Bring the Fury this week, I don't really know.
Why do we even have it?
Why? Yeah, we might have to discontinue the segment. Poke, maybe this whole hardwired internet thing isn't really all it's cracked up to be.
It was until today.
No, that was like this last week too.
Yeah, a couple people said that there was a little bit of lag. Levy again getting his hands on the ball. Almost caused a turnover.
Here's a 3 from Lotta. That's no good. And Gordy amongst the a tree amongst the trees. JT will spin and have it knocked away.
Yeah, Immaculata just did a good job getting back to the ball.
Gordy out-muscled underneath.
Nice take by, who's that? Benjamin, right? Courtney Benjamin?
Yeah.
Just got to keep moving this ball around to get to the open shot.
Szymborski. And it actually ends up getting tipped off of Levy and stolen. And it'll end up in an easy layup the other direction.
Yeah. It wasn't even actually meant for him, but he ended up stealing the pass, getting his own layup.
Kerry Wong will come into the game, as will Alex Pendris. Five minutes to go in this ball game. Montgomery's got it well in hand. So you're getting a look at some folks typically don't get a ton of burn. They'll go over the top for Pendris and out of the post for Gordy. And he kicks it back out. Here's Alex Pendris for 3. No good.
I love it.
I love the bench reaction.
Yeah.
It's so great.
The varsity guys are cheering just as hard for the other guys that that don't get as much playing time. You love to see it.
There's another 3 from Immaculata up and good. No worries for the Cougs as they near the midway point of the fourth quarter. Josh Moore, the very talented freshman point guard. He's going to be a good one, and Pendris will again throw for Gordy. That one was through his hands, and instead will end up in another Immaculata bucket, and Grundy wants a timeout. We'll take the timeout with him. 4 minutes to go here in Skillman, and the Cougs have it well in hand. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to the Cougar Den. Montgomery with a 29-point lead as we work into the waning minutes of the fourth quarter. This has been a positive offensive performance, to say the least, as Pendris has his first bucket of the season.
Nice. Curry's running all around and go crazy in the back.
Curry's going to blow out a knee on the sideline here, you know.
Let's hope not. Oh,
Levy!
Nice!
Matt Levy already with a highlight reel assist, goes to the hoop. No good. Kerry Wong has the rebound.
Defensively, Levy's really doing a great job in these minutes.
No doubt. Szymborski has it go off of his lower leg, and it'll be out of bounds off of Lotta. So this has been a positive. Scheduled against Trenton Catholic. That game Camp Ridge, and then next Friday at Linden. But to recap this one and take a look at the busy week to come, Monday morning in your podcast feed and live on YouTube. It'll be a YouTube premiere. That's how we did it this past week, and I suspect that's how we'll do it every week going forward. Is we'll set it as a premiere for all you early birds out there. If you want to watch it on YouTube, it'll premiere at 5 a.m., which is when it also drops in your podcast app. Is Szymborski.
Pendris.
Yeah, that was Brian Szymborski.
Oh, Brian Szymborski.
He comes up with a big block.
That was nice.
So there'll be a lot of content waiting for you next week on the MIRE podcast Monday. Muck and Mire, Brandon Fury. I'll be on there, but it's typically a Fury run show, and then we'll have a 3-game week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I personally am loving these non-Saturday game weeks.
Yeah.
But and that's mostly because I can make them all. You know, I mean, like, why? You know, this time of year Saturdays are hard for me. And
well, did you get some lacrosse games already?
Yeah, I open up Saturday, and
nice.
So they're only scheduling us up 2 weeks out, which I think makes sense, right? As nearly Pendris leaking out for a layup, but a good job defensively from Immaculata. So I have games the next 2 weekends, and hopefully every weekend after that is another Immaculata layup comes into play.
What games you got?
I don't really want to say that.
Oh, okay.
If that's all right.
That's fine.
I'm very happy with my schedule so far. We'll say that.
Okay.
But it's not really a thing that
you want to advertise. I get it.
Yeah, I don't really think it's a thing that they want us advertising either. That it's.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
all
think
the betting that's going on. I get it.
No, I don't even think for that reason. You know what's weird about that? The coaches scout us.
Yeah.
Like, because of the huddle software, and then lacrosse uses crossover quite a bit too, and it's sophisticated enough that the assistant coaches, when we're just kind of hanging out in the pregame, tell us all the time. They're like, I watch you as intently as I watch our own scouts, because if we can pick up tendencies on how you even blow the whistle on the faceoff, and I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I watched all 62 faceoffs you've done this season so far. And I'm like, wow, you guys got a lot of time.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Looking for that competitive advantage.
They all are, man. At that level, it's bananas what they're doing. But good for them. Extra pass ends up in a 3-pointer, no good for Immaculata, and some banging around as Levy tries to games more to the goal, no good. Has it altered, and Szymborski comes down with it. A left-handed layup, no good. And Lotta will again come down with it, and we're going to have a foul. And as we are under a minute to go here, why don't we head on over to Mandy Shovlin. Mandy, what do you have for us?
All right, guys, simply put, Montgomery took advantage of their easy opportunities, not only this quarter, but throughout the whole game, which is what allowed them to probably win. It would be almost impossible for them to not win.
I would say it's totally in hand at this point.
Okay, yeah. It also went hand in hand with the outstanding defense. Montgomery came into this game with their determination and a vision to win, which is exactly what they did. And thank you for tuning in tonight. Back to you guys.
Some camera hogs on the sideline from Montgomery there, trying to blow up Mandy's spot.
You love it.
Curry and Vlasic having a little bit of fun here in the MIRE as we tick under 10 seconds to go. Another jumper from the corner is good, and that will pretty much do it here in Montgomery. And the Cougars improve to 3-0 on the young season, 73-47. And that will take us into week number 3 of the season already, where I mean, we're like almost halfway home. It's
crazy.
It's so odd, given what we usually have going on. So I don't know that there's a ton to really get in depth about in this game. Another impressive offensive performance from the Cougs, and I think we have a 7-day stretch coming up here where we're going to find out a lot more about these Montgomery Cougars and what they're all about.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they're made of. It's a lot of basketball, and the competition is going to get a little bit more heated, a little bit more talented. And if they can continue to do what they've been doing to these last few teams, it's going to be some exciting basketball to watch.
Fury, any final thoughts from you?
No, that's it. Just tune in Monday for the podcast, and yeah, it's been a good game.
No doubt. The preceding has been a production of the MIRE, the sole property of the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of this game without the express consent of the MIRE, strictly prohibited. Podcast Monday for the Muck and Mire. Tuesday, home against Bridgewater at Ridge. Wednesday, at Linden. Friday, Montgomery has defeated Immaculata 73-47. For Matt Pope, Tim Bartholomew, Brandon Fury, and Mandy Shevlin, I'm Keith Glock. Thanks.